Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. The other day I did a video on the coffee shop restock of some new digital kits, and a number of you commented that you'd like to see how I use them. So of course that triggered a response. I basically went down, well, you pick your favorite. A bunny trail, a rabbit hole, a black hole. Yeah, I spent hours literally pulling together, and I'm not sure that I'm done. I'm not done pulling together all the digital papers that I have printed, and this is a bit of a stack here. And I also found in the process that I have a number of kits that are close to completion and or just need some time on my part to get them uploaded. So I'm grateful for that nudge in that direction. So what I thought I'd do, before I show you some samples of projects that I've done with kits that you've probably never seen, I just thought I'd show you a few more. Now, the sad part in all this is that I cannot say at this moment in time, oh, go to my blank shop and you'll find them all there. Initially, I listed all my digitals on Etsy. And I've said in the last few videos that I have permanently dropped the price on them. And, that's great. I then opened a coffee shop and I put the newer digitals there. And now I'm also part of the Makers Market. And, because that's a new platform, there's been, hiccups and growing pains and all of that. And I'm now assured by Angela that I can put my digitals there as well. Haven't gotten there yet, but that's the next step. So if I can, as I show you some of these things, if I can say definitively where they are, great. If not, maybe you need to do a bit of a treasure hunt. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound flippant or, cavalier about that. I know that that's not a great marketing strategy. But I guess following all of those platforms, kind of does make it easier. And enough talk. Okay, so one of the physical items that is my best seller on Etsy is my piano die. Oh, these aren't even piano. What am I telling you? Yoy. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Piano dyed paper. Now, of course, we know that color resolution makes a difference, as does the actual dyeing process. So you can see that there are a variety of colors. And if a person, can't afford the real thing or wants to be able to use them repeatedly or likes the convenience and the cost of digitals, then, obviously this is one way to do it. And I think I might have 2 different kits. So that's a few of them. Okay. Another thing that I did, oh my goodness, I cannot remember the last time I had my gel played out. But of course, like everyone else, I did a lot of fooling around and experimenting. So one of the things I did yesterday is, as I found all these pieces, even the ones with a hole in them, I tried to group them together in colorways because, of course, that is how I approach anything. So I'm just going to do a bit of a little flip through. Oh, this is on some Wawanese. Oh, this is a stamping off thing, so that shouldn't be there. And you can see, or maybe you can probably tell, that these are just printed on. See, some of these I absolutely love. And why am I not using them? Well, clearly I've been using some of them. I love, love, love the blue-brown combo. And I've said that before. It's a combination found in nature, you know, sky and sand, water and sand. So you never go wrong if you follow Mother Nature. And then, of course, these are the other, oh, there's some purple, of course, coming. So sort of the earth tones. I also, and I'm not really a green person, but I love this particular one because I think it would be a great background. And then, of course, a number of, and some of these are yeah, you know, like paper must have been growing on trees when I planted this. When I printed this. So that's 3 of the same thing. So multiple copies, because I guess I intended to do, look at that one. Isn't that great? Oh, you know what? I added those dots. That must be something I had in process, because that is that the same one? I better take that out. This needs some more work. See, that's what I mean. Start something and then get on to something else. And, you know, forget where a person was. So these are more pinky tones. See, this is perfect. Why am I not pulling these out from my blush journals? Okay, I'll take the whole bunch out. I probably use some of these papers in the blush journal. Oh, that one probably doesn't belong there. Okay, I'm pulling these out. So no matter how often and how deliberately you try sorting stuff, there's always another permutation that you can try. Oh, more of the same. I like that one too. It's more on the red side. I obviously used part of that one. Okay, and then this too is another one that I absolutely love. I also printed these before I got my newest Epson, which is the ET 5850, which has the 2 trays and the borderless printing option. This is an original piece of some sort. Love that as well. This has some punchinello on it. Again, I wonder why I have some of these. Anyway, doesn't matter. I was going to say, I wonder why I have some of these here and some. Yeah, not very good filing. I guess I couldn't decide if they were more blue or more brown. Anyway, sorry to be taking this time away from you. And then I have some really dark ones. Now again, you know, that's not very ink friendly. However, if you have an Epson, we know that ink is far cheaper than other ones. So those are 2 of the same. That's even darker. I like the dramatic look of that. And then I probably was doing this on stickers or something. I don't know. So this is the orangey yellow family here. And when I see this, oh, and you can see, totally different look if you print. Oh, I was going to say if you print it on yellow paper, but it's not on yellow paper. It's on white paper. You can see that, what this has reminded me of is that I need to do some gel printing. because I don't have enough to work with. No, because it is so darn much fun, and I'm not the same person I was when I did it a couple of years ago. Okay, a couple more things to show you. I, on Etsy, I have a number of wallpaper kits. So you can see by these torn edges that they didn't fill the entire page, so I ripped around all of them, making them better, or like, easier to work with. There's also a difference, I guess, in how I printed them. So anyway, I can't remember how I grouped them in the kits, but so I'll just quickly, these I kind of did by the background color. So of course, if you love, big roses and florals, that's a good one. This is more subtle. Well, that's not a background color. And like in every wallpaper book, you'll see you'll see things like this kind of a pattern repeat over and over again in different colors. This is, again, pretty subtle. Then there's some, this one belongs here. Although I should keep my smaller scraps there. I love these tone-on-tone ones. So green, I love, love, love this one. And it comes in a variety of colors. This also looks like anaglypta to me in green. This is kind of, and I don't know, obviously. Oh, I should say that the real thing is one color. The way it shows up on my computer or your computer or my printer or your printer is a different thing. But most people, even me, have some skill in changing colors. And really, I'm probably saying something that you already know and practice, but if you're as naive and inexperienced as I was when I began this process of buying digitals and printing them, I didn't manipulate the files at all. Like and I've said this before, I remember one of the first kits I ever bought from somebody were these peonies. So I have a whole bunch of peonies printed that fill the entire page in portrait format. Well, that's not that practical. But I'm smarter now, so hopefully you know more about printing, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about in a bit. This is a pretty one for people who like that pink-green combo. Same thing in more a beigey, peachy color. Maybe that should be in the, well, see, that's how things get out of place too. This one, and of course, because these came from an authentic wallpaper sample book and not see this I printed 2 to a page. So this becomes more usable perhaps for certain projects. Same thing with this one. But for now, I better keep these together. What was I saying? Oh, sample book. So I don't have the actual roll of wallpaper. That's why you kind of see the design the way it is. But of course, we know that you can do whatever you want once you print it. So you could fussy tear or punch out that image. You could cut it like so you have a belly band. You could print it 4 to a page or whatever to make them tag size. So it's probably supposed to be this way. So then there are these with the freesia and the lily of the valley. This is quite, see, something like this would be great for a, like the backside, and that's, I have to say, I'm so bad at that. I never, almost, like, I can count on one hand the number of times I've thought of printing on both sides of the paper. This is kind of a soft peachy color. This is another, oh, these are upside down, I think. Florally intense, I mean ornate, busy pattern. We've seen the daisies before. Here's some morning glory. I don't know why I only have one of these. I think these came in other colors. This is another cute one where, you know, again, you could cut out the diamond, so to speak. You could punch out the flower. So I guess what I'm saying is you're only limited by your imagination. And now that I have found and organized these things, I will be keeping them front and center and using them. Same pattern with a sort of a minty green. And you know what? On this one, I'm not sure if you can see or not. There's that tiny, so there must have been a print head that was plugged. Again, old printer. Happy accident, I would say. It looks like striped wallpaper. So nothing goes to waste. Oh, I think I had this one somewhere else, didn't I? You can see it was getting late. I was tired. I had piles everywhere. So my filing is a bit sketchy. This is very subtle too. That would make a great background paper. Same ferny type design. Love this. This is, I would call this a grayish, a beige gray. This looks like, I don't know, how do you say it, fillet lace? You know, the very sort of geometric stuff. And then I think you've seen all of this before. That is not a wallpaper. This one is pretty subtle. This one is pretty subtle. Okay, I probably spent a little too much time on that. And I think by taking the time while watching, you know, YouTube or Netflix or whatever, to get rid of the edges, which now, like I said, I don't have to worry about, it makes the piece, you know, you can just reach for them. And see, I have a number of things here. So where this pattern has been sort of miniaturized, I don't know if you can tell, but that's where it was probably 4 on a page, 4 on a page, 4 on a page, and so on. So if you want to scale it down so it's more, so the scale is more probably proportionate to your project, you can. Here, I fussy cut around, oh, you probably haven't seen this one. A fussy cut around this, so this could easily be backed and become a side pocket or something. Oh, I probably didn't give that its own category over there. So a number of those, even smaller things, or the ones that I've torn away. Okay, but the kit on Etsy that is seems to be getting the most likes are my, I think I call them vintage nostalgic kitchen, well, anyway, vintage kitchen papers, wallpapers. Let's get this out of the way. So, and I don't know, this may not represent all the patterns. I don't know. And it's probably in 2 kits as well. Because, of course, Etsy also had those limits on how big files could be when you upload them, which is, to be honest, a pain in the butt. So there's this one in these 2 colorways. Not sure it's a favorite of mine. I love this one though. And this comes in a variety of colors. And the possibilities are endless here. If you were doing a master board and wanted a design to bleed off the page, you've got that, and that. This could be a card in itself. That could be a card in itself. These little latticey things are great as well. I have a number of those printed. Okay, same thing with almost a mauvey gray background, or that's how it looks on my printer. So you can see, again, depending on the wallpaper sample, here this entire thing is whole, but this bottom thing is cut off. So, I mean, I can't make the scan something that the original wasn't. So you work with the limitations or the opportunities that they present. This is very kitscheny, of course, with the strawberries, the gingham, the lace, and I have that in a number of colors as well. So pink, blue. I think it's kind of interesting. I left this on where it says match here, and there's a little teeny tiny swatch in the border there. Same thing in a peachy orange. Same thing in a green. Now here you can see just those cherries. Perfect. Here's another cool one. Again, the possibilities of a belly band. You know, these end pieces that are bleeding off the page. Of course, you know, this could be a pocket as well, if you cut it off there. Or maybe you cut this off here for a pocket, and then you fussy cut around that and glue that on to, you know, bring a little more color into this. And who doesn't love dots? Okay, and then the same thing in shades of blue. And you can see I printed multiples. And then this one is the 2 to a page. So again, all of these kitchen, I would say probably all the wallpaper kits are on Etsy. Okay, I want to show you one more thing about printing, and then I'll show you some of the projects I rediscovered. Okay, I also have on Etsy a kit on roses. I don't have the whole thing printed here, but you can see that I've done them as, well, this is one page spread. So if you were doing a floral journal, a gardening journal, a rose journal, you've got these. So it's a nice page size. It's got the Latin at the bottom and, you know, in a flourishy script. So there is half of that page. So this could be either, well, it could obviously be trimmed down and be kind of an oversized tag. It could be a flip. It could be whatever you choose. Now, at some point, I must have really been enamored with this kit because I printed it on, this isn't vellum. I don't know what this is. And it's obviously 4 to a page. So this could be tracing paper, perhaps, or parchment paper. You can see the lines through the... So this probably would have been, would this be 9 to a page? I guess this would have been 9 to a page. I must have used some of them already. So again, it's a whole new look when you do it on a different sort of paper. This one will probably be hard for you to see because it's a very pale pink. That would also be good in my blush journal. So again, gives you scaled down options off the kit. Here's a white rose. Here's a yellow rose. Again, same sort of scenario. Then another thing that I almost never do is print on matte photo paper. Well, I've done it here, so you can see that this would have been a page spread that I must have reduced to, I guess, 6 to a page. And because photo paper is thicker, you know, these would be pretty self-sufficient, you know, just separate them or cut them here and use, well, I don't want to bend it, but oh, that I'll show you that in an upcoming, when I show you some samples. Anyway, so that's those. Then I must have printed this on coffee dyed paper, which amazing that I thought of that. This same thing, coffee dyed paper. So this is the back side of a grid paper. These were done on the front side of a coffee dyed grid paper. Oh, here's another photo paper. So you can see, and it makes it nice with the lines because you can cut them, well, you can cut them or tear them straighter probably than they would have turned out otherwise. And it just adds another level of interest to them. Obviously, we don't throw a bud away. This must have been on grid paper. Again, there's just, you know, there's that hole there, but we don't throw that away. So you can see how, and maybe I'll do it because I really don't need an excuse to do a masterboard. You know how much I love that. So wouldn't these be great on a masterboard, especially because they have, you know, the more interesting background with the grid paper. And then these, I guess I printed on cardstock. Again, however many to a page. Ready to go. If I would have used a different color cardstock, you know, maybe a cream or an off-white, it would, you know, they wouldn't be quite so white. However, for those people who love to ink, you can always ink. Round the corners. This wouldn't even be that bad to fussy cut if a person was so inclined. The design is fairly tight, other than those leaves perhaps. And another thing, that's another thing about fussy cutting. There's nothing that says that you can't cut off the design right there. Like go around, let me get something to point at. How about a stitch ripper? So this is easy. This is easy. Isolate that one leaf, go around there. This part gets left behind. Of course, we wouldn't throw it away, but that's what you end up with. A nice compact little rose. And I guess, oh, that's photo paper. Okay, so let's see what I actually made. Oh, and I don't have printed, believe it or not, I don't have printed sheets of every single, okay, we were talking roses. I used that one photo paper version, tore around the edges, added a bit of inking, did a little teeny, obviously, really reduced the pattern, did this little tiny micro collage in the corner, because this is only, well, about a little over 3 inches tall, 2 inches wide. Stapled it, rounded the corners, and used, obviously, some, oh, I was going to say some washi, but no, that's ribbon. And because this thing wasn't lying very flat, overnight, that's what I did. And I'll tell you, this thing is heavy. I should actually weigh it. So that helped flatten that out so it would stay a little better. Okay. Oh, I started to say that there's no way that I've printed every single kit that I have done. But since we're talking roses, let's look. So I can see through that, so I would say that would have been done with the parchment. And it's just on packaging, I guess. Look at that. I don't know what I don't know what I was doing here, but that looks like one of those very tiny miniatures that I have. So there's this little teeny weeny, look, size of a thumbnail, little dangly thing from one of those tiny paper clips, and a little collage on the side. Obviously, Fussy cut a bit around the roses, threw in a butterfly, and have that done. So book page, some kind of a cutout from a scrapbooking kit probably, sewn around the edge, coffee dyed ticket, a brad that I've covered at the back here, a butterfly, that's probably just ordinary paper because I can't see through it, and this is one of the gel plates. So talk about throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at it. This, I don't know why this is scalloped, but I imagine it was packaging that came that way. Bit of fiber, some labels, some music. Oh, this looks like a digital that I have as a base. That was just a linen type pattern. That's an Artie Mays label. And obviously a fussy cut around that rose. This is, oh, I know, it's that way because I cut it that way. So it's a border off, I don't know what. This is from my French fashion kit. So these vintage, that book, I have a digital of the cover. Oh, there is no year on this, but look at this cover. I've never done anything with the cover. The book is all in French, so of course I have no idea what it was, but it seems to me when I paid a lot of money for that book, and I'm talking 3 digits, I thought it was 17 something. Fussy torn design, some script, again part of a gel plate, a bit of book page, that's some ribbon, same as this one. Here is an oversized tag on, again, some cardboard, a ticket dangle, ribbon, what you may call it. What do you call this? Tab? I guess I worked in some stamps to bring in more of the green, and again, a rose on grid paper. And this is a sentiment. Okay, so there are those. So maybe we've seen enough roses. So as I said, I didn't show you all the kits. One of my favorite ones, it's a small kit. It's about McClary stoves. And this must have been during my splattering phase. But I love the look of enamelware. I mean, don't we all still own or grew up having turkeys and chickens and whatever roasted in those enamelware roasters? So anyway, obviously I've splattered this with white, black, gold. Used a cotton ribbon. It's on, well, this side is book page. This side is, I don't know, cardstock, I guess. So, well, let's see. If I remember the actual kit, there is a shot of obviously a really old kitchen. There are close-ups of enamelware. This lady might be from another kit, though. Again, I've obscured everything with the splatter, but look at the shelves of that graniteware. So I've now officially started a bin for a kitchen journal that I intend to do in a binder. So things like this, I'm glad I rediscovered, because this will now go in the bin. I have, I think that these guys, like in the chainmail, whatchamacallit, armor, chainmail armor, is that it? This guy that looks like a French saint or something, this guy, oh, that's the same guy. They kind of seem to lend themselves to me to sort of a steampunky thing. So there's an image torn from a book, because of course machines is part of what that's all about. Oh, here's part of a digital of mine with some heavy-duty chain, and you can see that I've added gears and a sentiment to each of them. And this, of course, is grungier than some of the other things you've seen. This one includes, I have a kit on Greek bronzes and on another one on cameos. So these swirly things are stamps that I've carved myself, which means I can use them in my designs. A fussy cut cameo. Fussy cut cameo, again, splattered the life out of these things. Again, more of those ancient images. And basically just, used colors that all went together. Now this, I'm not even sure what, this is the final thing I want to show you, because of course you will by now have seen the 2 videos on this accordion book. Kind of a building it was part 1, and then a deck or construction, I think, was, what did I do? No, I must, decorating was part 2. Okay, so this is something that I experimented with. Now, so again, a gem. This is from, no, it's a streetscape. It's from, I think the kit is called York. So York in England, in the United Kingdom. That's, I don't know, I don't think that's a Kate Greenaway. Some script. Some of my mark making paper, streetscape on its side. And I think I added this trim here just to tell me that this is right side up, even though that may not look like it. Love these gem ones. Now, I think the idea was good here, but I goofed, and maybe that's why I've never shown it before. So this panel here is good too. I mean, it's right side up. The kids aren't standing on their heads. Yeah, that is a Kate Greenaway. A little verse here, just a collage. Now, this is upside down. So clearly, I wasn't paying attention, or maybe I didn't care, but I would say I wasn't paying attention as to how this orientation of each panel would be. If I were to do this again, I would definitely be marking in pencil with an arrow so I would know at all times which way is up. Don't we all want to know that? Which way is up? So there's that. Now this panel is good. And again, I scooped these out to make nice deep pockets so a person could put something in there. Kate Greenaway again. Mark making, book pages. This too, this is another one image out of the York kit. Wouldn't it have been better if the building was not lying on its side? Yes, it would have. This is good. Kate Greenaway again, pocket. This is upside down. So again, should have made that distinction. Kate Greenaway, Kate Greenaway. So you can see 4 gigantic pockets. How did I make this? Lord only knows. Lord only knows. So let's see what we have on the other side. Oh, see? Here, this is right side up. I guess, yeah, if it's right side up in one way, then it's not in the other. So I guess my decision was mix it up, and then it doesn't look like a mistake. It looks like it was intentional. Obviously, clearly, I was also inking things at the time. So that, well, that's probably, no, I think it folds differently. Maybe this goes like that. I'm surprised that this folds and closes as well as it does, because honestly, this is really thick. You can't tell that at home, but anyway, so I hope that all of this has given you some ideas of what to mix it up a bit on the kind of paper that you print on. Exhibit A. And also that you would treat, if you purchase a digital, number one, you can use it as many times as you want for virtually no cost at all. What do I say? Less than a coffee. And can reprint it in whatever size and format. So for instance, if you were cutting an image out of a book, it is what it is. If it's too big, well, tough, trim it. If it's too small, well, tough, add more to it. But you can't really manipulate size as you can when you choose how many to a page. So I hope that this has helped you. And going forward, as I work on things, oh, you know what? Here are some digitals of mine that I fussy cut. Obviously not that many, but it will show you some. Oh, so these are more of those bronzes. And you can see that they came in a variety of sizes and colors. So, oh, that's probably why I don't have these in a sheet form, is because I've fussy cut them. So now that I've refound this pouch, obviously I can work these in. And these little guys would obviously lend themselves beautifully. How about this guy's head? To adding them to a masterboard. And in fact, that's what I may do here more. Yeah, these are a perfect size for, and because I've already cut them out, I can just glue them down. So cameos. I love cameos. And you can tell by some of them how, like, they're centuries old. And I bought a number of books that were, you know, probably a couple 100 years old. So obviously I was able to scan the images. Okay, so that is those. That is those. I know, you come here for the English and grammar usage tips, right? This is some sort of a vase, I guess, from antiquity. Okay, so this is cardstock. So I guess the only thing I didn't do here with these is cut out those spaces, which I would with my handy dandy, if you haven't already seen it. This is one of those items linked in my Amazon list in every description box. I will, maybe I'll take a moment to grovel and to say I would very much appreciate it if you would access Amazon through one of my links. You don't have to actually buy that item. You just have to get to Amazon via one of my links, and I get the credit for that. And number one, perhaps I will qualify before the 6-month period is up. And then these are obviously some gems that I cut out. So that's all I have in my fussy cutting pouch. Anyway, I think I beat that dead horse. So again, thank you. I hope this has been instructive, particularly if you're a beginner and didn't know some of the things that it took me forever to learn. And as I said, I will continue to use my products wherever it makes sense in upcoming videos. And I'll also get my button gear and get more of these kits listed. Number one, listed period, and listed in all 3 places. And I don't know that this is necessarily the case, but I would say that if you find that there is a price difference from one platform to another, shop around. Buy them where it's cheapest. Like, obviously, they're not expensive in any of the places, but obviously if you buy through coffee, the more money goes into my pocket. On the other platforms, there is a commission. But again, shop where you find it, shop where it's convenient, and know that you're making my little heart happy when you do. Okay, guys, I am bound and determined to use more of my digitals. And God knows I have millions of pages printed of other people's digitals as well. So you will see more of this sort of thing in the future. Thanks so much for joining me. See you in the next one. Bye.